It's one of those carefree days. You're sitting on a beach across from the narrow sea, relaxing, waiting for those dragons to come. And someone beheads your father, imprisons your uncle, and then you have to go fight in a war you didn't expect. You have to become a faceless man or woman. And we're going to talk about it here. So come join us. So I'm Dan.
And I'm Nick, folks.
We're old friends dissecting one topic at a time. People, technology, media, we've got it all covered.
Each discussion here is a deep dive into our unique perspective. The taboo, forbidden subjects, they're all on the chopping block, baby. We don't pander to popular opinion. We might even get a little bit dirty.
Warning, this podcast may contain mature language and sexual content, and is for infotainment purposes only.
So join us. Have a good time.
Open up your ear holes, because we're going to fondle your follicles. All right. Here we are on the wall. Ready to battle the White Walkers, right?
Oh.
Yeah.
What's going on over there? I didn't get the memo. Usually I like to dress up, but you seem... Good look. It's a good look for you.
Commander? Excuse me.
Commander.
Yes.
Commandant.
Oh,
Commandant.
They don't say Commandant. Off with your head.
Might as well.
Yeah.
Is that Valerian steel, might I ask?
I believe it is. It's from Commander Mormon.
Dragon's Glass?
I changed the...
So what are we talking about today? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
Game of Thrones, Peter Dinklage, Peter Dinklage.
1, 2, 3. But you'll notice it's a waltz. Mm-hmm.
And
that's that old classic waltz. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
A little too hot to be Jon Snow. I understand why they wear this thick woolen dire wolf, whatever this is.
Is that some pelt? Is that a real pelt you got there?
It's a real pelt. It's kind of soft, actually. It smells like artificial fabric. Plasticky.
It looks like artificial fabric.
I wonder why.
Why did they wear armor back then? I almost caught you in a classic trope. We don't know when this takes place. Ha ha ha.
I guess that's true.
Do we?
Did it already take place? Is it a story of the past or the future?
It could be. Is it a different world? Could be.
It is shaped quite like Britain.
It is. And what's the accent they have? It is almost British, isn't it? Or Old English?
There is like an English vibe to it. A lot of them are very...
I mean, it's in English because we watch it in England, or English, England. So wait, when they watch it in Spain, is it dubbed?
I don't know. I'm going to take this off because I'm already sweating.
Go ahead. You can take it off. I know. Just really wanted to
dress up for once.
You surprised me, folks. You read that bad boy? It's a generic wolf, and it says, "Winter is coming."
Whoa, the breastplates. It's very noisy breastplate.
It says dark at the bottom. Yeah, it was pretty noisy breastplate. How much tinfoil did you go through with that one?
A couple sheets.
Got a shirt too.
All right, so let's really get into this. Get to what we like. What are we going to cover here?
So we're going to talk about Game of Thrones.
The episode?
We're going to talk about it. Did you ever read the books?
No.
Hold on, everybody.
You have a book that you haven't read.
Okay, that's unfair of you to say.
Oh, sorry.
So I have one speaker here, right? And to make this one level,
you have put it to use.
Level, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 Game of Thrones books. They're all paperback. I don't know if you know this brand. It's really nice. I started reading the first book. What the heck's it called? Of Torture and Blade, of Fire and Ice. Who knows? But I read the first book and I got to like 38 pages and it was kind of a lot. It was thick. So I give up for now. I might get back to it, but I mean, they're right here. Literally, as I podcast, I could
You
slip
could
into a nice
read them.
book.
Yeah.
I could
Let's
read them
do that.
I could read them live. What I'll do is I'll read George R.R. Martin's what's it called? The Story of Fire and Ice, the Game of Fire and Ice.
Don't you have the books in front of you?
Yeah, but Storm Swords, Clash Kings. Oh, Game of Thrones is actually one of them. That's
A Feast of Crows, A Dance with Dragons.
That's a book?
Mm-hmm.
Or that's all of them? Huh.
I think you named the other Clash of Kings, Storm of Swords,
okay.
Feast of Crows, Dance with Dragons.
Feast of Crows. Interesting. That's a cool name. That's probably the other one that's right there. So how many books is this?
5.
4 written? No, 5 written. Oh, I don't have the 5th. That's my problem. No, 5 books. He's writing a 6th right now, right? Correct?
Yeah, so I think the story was overtaken 2 seasons ago, where they're like, come on, George, and he never finished it.
Weird.
He's just
so,
like, keep going.
To iterate for us, he wrote these books beforehand. They were works of fiction, and he was always a year or 2 ahead of the movie, because they were like, let's turn this into a HBO series. Excuse me, I said movie.
Oh, well, it's better than a movie.
Right. At some point, they overtook them, and now he can't write the new before he releases the final season. Like, could you imagine if he did?
If he caught up somehow?
Yeah. Like, if he just was like, let me write the book first, and then he wrote the book and released it and waited 6 months, and then they did the final season. It would lose all its luster, power, momentum.
I wonder what he really had in his brain, because you can see there's tropiness going on in the final 2, but we'll get to that. We'll get to that.
Okay, we'll get to that.
What makes it...
But it does change the fact that he's writing it versus writing it for film versus writing it for a book.
And this started in like 2011? 10? When did it actually start?
I don't know.
First episode? Ooh.
We should research this stuff before we start an episode.
Yeah. That's
a great idea.
Yeah. 2011.
Okay.
April 11th.
That makes sense.
Or April 17th, 2011.
Thank you. Is when he released the first book or he started?
It's when the episodes started.
Okay, that's cool. So he's an author. Did he write anything else good?
Did you research this? Hopefully you didn't.
I looked. I couldn't find anything I recognized. And then I did a little research on his things that inspired him. Where is it?
Every other fantasy book out there.
Kind of. But that goes without saying. For every fantasy book, they're all influenced by other fantasy books. But
Dying of the Light? A Dream? The Wall.
The Wall is based on Hadrian's Wall, which is apparently someplace in Scotland.
That's the separation between the English and the Scottish. It's like I think it's the second longest wall in the world, but it's short.
Behind the Great Wall, I guess.
Yeah.
He said like that was his legit inspiration for the whole thing because he spent a lot of time in Scotland and stuff. He seemed to really like Scottish. Is he Scottish? I like how I don't know. George R.R. Martin.
It says he's American novelist. I don't know if he's
American, very American, but visited Scotland. That's what we meant to say. He visited Scotland.
Yeah.
His number 2
book.
Why does that word escape me? No, influence. Thank you. I said it by accident. J.R.R. Tolkien's Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, I get that kind of shitty reference.
That was one of the greater fictional books and stories ever written.
Actually, it's enjoyable to watch the first time, but the second time, the story is probably the book.
It's tedious.
I never read the book, so the movie is tedious. The book might be really complicated.
The book is really good, but it's tedious. There's a lot of description, too much description. There's too much of the fake world.
Yeah.
Like it's like a lot of work to read that the birds are chirping and what time of day it was and what kind of coffee is brewing over a pot and their campfire and these guys have horses and everything and the horses are trotting gently in the morning dew and you're like, let's go.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
But interestingly enough, what happens in The Lord of the Rings, that's one of my favorite features of story writing and happens to be my favorite feature of story writing in Game of Thrones, is at the beginning is just a group of guys who are going to do a mission. It's like, hey, 7 of us. We're all going to join together. We got one mission. Let go. And as the story unfolds, all 7 break off and different things happen to them. They're whisked to different parts of the world. And then they get separated from each other for most of the entire story. And they go through their own transformations, realizations. They lose limbs. Some of them find new best friends. Some of them become friends with their enemies. Like, it's all these wicked, wild, crazy stories where you delve into the past and the future and all this crazy stuff. And then towards the end, they all start coming back to a single point again. They're all coming back to destroy the ring or whatever. Well, that's kind of happening in Game of Thrones.
Yeah, the Lord of Light is guiding us towards the one and only future.
Maybe, but I was just going with the Stark kids, right?
That's true. They're all back together again.
Isn't that interesting? Because they start off like it's like, one little family. They're all getting visited by the Lannisters. You're like, these guys are jack-offs. And it has branched off into something so wild. Faceless man.
Yeah.
There's like Sansa's side path. And, dude, everyone has this crazy
such
side
a
path.
crazy story of every single person. So, like, the best person that I can think of the Starks is Rickon. I mean, he has the best storyline of them all. Can you name some of his famous quotes?
No, I think I'm cold.
Oh,
Could you shut the window?
It's pretty close. Here's some of his favorite quotes, or some of my favorite quotes of his, which are they're all
You
of his
really record
quotes.
these?
No, they've all gone away. No, they won't. I'm coming with you. I'm your brother. I have to protect you. We're not Southerners.
Ooh.
And then here, shaggy-dog. That's Rickon.
Here, shaggy-dog.
A replaying of Rickon for the audience.
Rickon.
So important. So crucial. And cheers to Rickon.
Does he get shot in the back by Bolton?
The arrow?
That's so sweet. When you're like, go left, go right, do anything. Zigzag. He literally would survive if he just zigzagged.
Yes.
He's just running in a straight line. Like, just zig a little, dude. Do some weaving. I don't know.
So this is the part that like makes the series the greatest that it's ever been, I guess. Death. Well, death, but also like when you see that scene, there's arrows that miss him, and it's like almost cheesy, but the ones that I guess it's like a false sense of like, oh, now this is going to get him, but it lasts a little bit longer, like 1 or 2 arrows longer than you think. And they also do like the panning shot where like they cut back and then he's like keeps getting like closer and then farther away. So it's like the tension is mounted in such a way that it's kind of unique. You don't feel it in other series like you do this one.
It's funny you mentioned the directing, the camera work, stuff like that. The 3 episodes in a row, Battle of the Bastards, which was episode 9 of season 6. We're talking about season 6 now?
Yes, that's 6.
Probably because we just saw 7, and 6 was probably the best TV we'll ever see as individuals.
It was pretty damn good.
But 8, 9, and 10 of that season were 3 of the best episodes I've ever seen. I think all 3 were directed by someone different. Isn't that weird?
Really?
Yeah. The Battle of the Bastards, if you look online, I watched a YouTube video on it. That's episode 9, and that's where John and Bolton and everyone, they come together, and it's like the crazy war. And they show that they had to have fake horses dressed in uniforms to match. Like they dressed these fake horses to look like soldiers for each side when they were like just plowing into them or throwing them.
Because there's colliding, it's easier to just kind of like dub it in there a little bit.
Yeah. Because they didn't want to CGI it. They actually had physical objects that were slamming into each other at high speeds.
Well, it's like Braveheart, but like a 70-hour Braveheart. I wonder how many.
A little bit.
Yeah. Braveheart was
70 hours.
3 hours or something. Probably almost 4.
Yeah, 3 and change, I would have said, but you're right. The so let's rewind because we're kind of skipping.
Yeah, we went ahead because we got to the exciting part.
I understand. We love this stuff. Everyone at home's like, whew, these guys guys have a strict schedule and they stick to it.
Yeah, first season.
That's us.
Rewind.
Well, how did you get into it?
I don't know that. I wonder if this is. So this is 2011. This is right. Oh, man, this is so long ago. It's weird, isn't it? 8 years? Because I can't recall exactly who told me about it, like why to look, because it was on HBO. I didn't have HBO. I don't know if I saw...
Did you download it? How'd you see them?
Don't know. It's kind of one of those mysterious things from the ether.
My sister or someone bought the DVD of season 1 after it was over, because I didn't watch it during season 1. In fact, no. When did DVDs come out? It would have been
like a month or two at least.
Oh, okay. So yeah, it could have been 2 months after this show ended for season 1.
Yeah.
And someone bought me the DVD, and I was like, "What? I don't even know what this is." It might have been my sister. And I was like, "Whatever." So I put it on and watched it by myself because I know it was like Braveheartian, like old school swords. Like I don't know what to expect. A little dark, a little different. You hear some buzz about it. I watched 3 episodes, and I said, "Whoa, this is really good." And I told my girlfriend at the time, Ange, and I was like, I think she was a new girlfriend or something.
Such hope.
I'm trying to work my timeline here.
Yeah, it's weird.
But I told her, I was like, just watch this with me. She was like, I don't like swords and like fighting shows, and I don't like blah, 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 and like medieval stuff. And I was like, check it out. And she did.
Game of Thrones is on.
Anyway, so I watched all first 3 episodes again, and we loved it. I think we binge watched like 2 episodes a night for the next like 3 nights, and it was awesome. And even the way season 1 ends, like you're like, they're not gonna behead him. No. They're not gonna behead him.
Boom. Sets the pace, sets the whole thing. If they don't behead him, I don't think it's a great series.
I agree with you. Because he's also, what's his name?
Sean Bean. Sean Bean dies in every movie.
Sean Bean. Yeah, see, just about. There's 2 that he don't die in, but
only 2 movies in his entire career that he survives.
Something like that. Yeah. Well, he doesn't even survive. He's just like a supporting character that in a rom-com that just didn't die.
Yeah. Oh, man. So the one thing is like, this movie and like Spartacus, they start with like Spartacus continues to be really sexual. But like Game of Thrones does it in a way that like keeps your attention, I think, at the beginning, because it didn't have as many hooks in you because you didn't know the characters. You start off with like the Starks, and they progress to like going to everyone else, like the Baratheons. I guess they're part Lannister too, so they're together. And then you don't get any. I don't think you get any Martells. And then Targaryens, you get the Dany side story with the golden helmet. They pour the hot gold.
Dude. That's This is the one show where I remember seeing the scene for the first
people
time.
Die. He's like, he's just like crying like a little baby.
And he turns hard.
A bitch. He cries like a little bitch.
He was also beating his sister and selling her for sex. Like
sex slave.
Have sex with the horses for all I care. I demand my crown.
And she's so neutral. She's like a mannequin, and like she's also sexualized, and like she becomes, I guess, anti-sexual almost. Like she's okay being naked, which is weird because she's like
but because she always burns everything.
Yeah, it's hard to keep clothes on when you burn everything.
So after the first season, I watched the whole season again, and then I was ready to watch season 2 live. So we did.
Yeah, it became a thing in my household where my wife and I would sit down and watch it together.
Sunday night.
And the intro is so good. And they kept it throughout the seasons.
Well, they change it.
And then it changes slightly. Well, like who they're focusing on.
Because of the land, right. I think that's cool.
All the little castles and stuff. Oh, that's so good.
It's so good because it's a magical land that has its own lore. Does that make sense? Like it's like it's not based on anything real. It's all fake, but it feels real. Like the desert area feels like the desert area.
The colors.
The water people feel like they belong on the sea. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't picture any of the what's his name? The bastard.
Which bastard?
The
Greyjoy?
Stark. Yes.
No.
The Greyjoys.
Yeah.
I couldn't picture a Greyjoy like hanging out at like, I don't know, just hanging out with different people. Like they're sea.
They feel like they're a part of their own things. They have their own like color schemes too. If you notice, like they change. If they did it all in one spot, it would have been way too either bright or dark. In this movie, whole thing is entirely dark.
You are absolutely correct. And the whole is most of that shot in England or
I don't know,
or Scotland?
It seems like they went like
castle-y stuff,
Arabic, and they went English, and I don't know what else is there, but the castles they had like. They did a fantastic job picking the castles and making it seem like this is a real place.
I can actually tell you. Hold on. Westeros, background setting, Song of Ice and Fire. I just saw this literally right before so I kept this page open.
The second Google's thing is like the castles of Game of Thrones. And this is going to be a
right. But I was going with
ads.
where. I don't care. These people.
I hate when the internet doesn't give me a list of like exactly what I want.
Filming. Northern Ireland is where most of this first season took place.
Which is, I guess, the north. Literally.
Which makes sense. Castle Ward. And it's all Northern Ireland. That's pretty cool.
It's all
My mom actually toured a lot of places that Game of Thrones was from. There's a long path. She said she took a ton of pictures from, but like either way, the first season's southern scenes were filmed in Malta. So any place that was like the south was actually filmed in Malta, which is like off the coast of Italy. That makes sense. All of those red buildings, kind of looks warmer. They they changed to Croatia for the second season.
Yeah, Dvornik?
Dubor, yes.
I never say that. It's weird. They also like green. Yeah, there's an apostrophe in there somewhere. They like green screen some of the smaller. Like they have like a flair to it that adds to the size. I never once looked at anything that was Game of Thrones and thought, "Oh, that's not real." Like that.
Yeah,
I mean, even the CGI is pretty well done, but they darken it up to make it so it's hard to tell.
Interesting. This is if you could read a whole story on where the filming takes place. In fact, isn't that the real reason why they had to push the final season back, or do you think it had to do with George R. didn't know the ending? Like, there's like people go back and forth on that.
Yeah, because we'll get to that. Let's come back to that.
Okay, that's fine.
Later seasons.
Back to that. But anyway, the first season, like, we're the Starks, the Lannisters. We're getting to know everyone. It's pretty badass.
Yeah.
You're surprised at the end. I think that's the hook.
I think Dany keeps it interesting in the middle parts because she gets her brother killed. She becomes a queen. She's about to have a baby. That also seems kind of like a typecast type of.
Yeah. Oh no, it's also weird that they don't handle it the way most stories do.
Because then she relies on a witch who betrays her, and then her king Drogo dies from like a small wound. Yeah, Jason Momoa, and also like the witch takes her baby too. I think.
Like, let's pause for a second because I never talked to anyone about this, but I've seen that season probably 6 or 7 times by now, maybe 8.
Wow.
Because every year I try and watch all of them up to.
Every time, really?
Last year, yeah. Like last year was the first year I didn't.
Oh, man.
When we saw season 6, I watched the first 5 seasons beforehand. We started like a month and a half before. We watched like 1 or 2 a night.
I will say that over the past month, I watched 1 through 7.
Did you?
All of them, yeah.
Nice.
Had them on the background constantly. I mean, that's like 70 hours. It's like a full-time job.
I know. You don't get to stare at them and really break them down, but you do get new things from them, too.
You do. The foreshadowing of everything.
They're dense as hell.
The dire wolves.
In a good way.
The way people interact. It's very telling.
Dire wolves are badass. Like, that's a cool touch.
Can you name them? That was a quiz.
No.
Shaggy-dog, since I mentioned that earlier.
Damn, that was the one. That was the one I was going to go with.
Yeah.
Lady Wolf. Lady Wolf didn't hurt anyone. Father, Lady Wolf didn't do it. Joffrey did.
Typical Sansa. Yeah, lady.
Who's
Rob?
What's Rob's?
Grey Wind. He gets killed when Rob gets killed. Remember, he's penned up.
That's so
sad. Because then Arya's watching. She's like, "Oh well,
what's
fuck
Arya's?
this place."
What's Arya's?
Numeria.
Numeria.
You know what Numeria is?
Is Numeria the only one still maybe alive? Right?
Numeria is alive, as well as one other one.
That's the one she sees. Oh, and I can't think of who. Oh, stupid Bronze. Wolf.
Bronn is Summer. And that dog dies when he goes inside of the Three-Eyed Raven's castle thing. He's trying to
okay. So never mind. Summer's gone.
So, Numeria is actually like a historical figure in their little ecosystem. That she's a sailor that came across the sea with like a bunch of warriors and took over. Might be telling.
Historical? Like in the story, historical.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Also, I think one of the princesses is named Numeria too. One of the sand snakes.
Okay, I can see that. I mean, that's probably also why she named the wolf that. So it's not like it's, okay, that makes sense.
So you got most of them. What was the last one? John's direwolf?
I don't know. I'm going to say duh as soon as you say it.
Ghost.
Ghost, god damn it.
Which is literal. Yeah, right?
Ghost dies, didn't he?
He's still alive.
Is he?
I think he's out somewhere in the.
Yeah, he showed up in the 6th or 7th season.
I think they lost him beyond the wall. I think he disappeared beyond the wall. Sense. But they say when they first find the dire wolves that they don't find them south of the wall anymore.
Right. They only grow. See, this is another cool fact of this story. It's like I've never been to wherever Westeros or anything where this takes place.
They define it pretty well.
But from the very first scene, they find the direwolves like within 10 minutes. And he's like, they don't grow. We never find these south of the wall. And, like from there, something weird about these. Like, do you know what I mean? There's something magical, something weird, something strange going on. I think that makes the best stories. I don't know.
Yeah. It's the way they deliver it. It's not like, these are magical. It's like, you would get that from like some other shitty movie. Like,
these are magic wolves. Here you go, kids.
They're going to save you later in life. And then they save you later in life. Wow.
This is foreshadowing.
Yeah. Its name is Ghost. I wonder why. You might come back to life later.
Good Lord. I didn't realize that. I could talk about this damn show forever. It's hard to get it focused. So we talked about season 1.
Yeah.
Wait. So season 1 ends on... What's her name? No, doesn't it? Does it?
It ends on the beheading and they go separate ways.
Almost every season ends with Khaleesi.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Because I've watched them 7 times. It's weird. There's one that doesn't, and it could.
Oh, it ends with her dragons crawling all over her. Yeah.
Yes. Isn't that weird? Like they do have tropes, but they play off of them. They do have stereotypes, but they play off of them.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of which, from season 1, my favorite character. You're not gonna believe this. Barrister.
Barristan.
Yeah, Barristan.
He's the one who's so disgraced. Badass. He gets pushed out of
he is. He gets pushed out of the Knight's Guard, and then he just pulls his sword, and then he holds it at Joffrey, and he's like, "I could cut through you like a cake." That's the exact line, because I just watched this scene recently, and I was like, "Yo, he's the man. Take it down and melt it with the rest, boy." He's got such a good gravelly voice. Oh my god.
That's one thing that also sets it apart. Usually, like these type of things, they have like main characters that are actual real actors. But the side characters, the supporting characters, are better actors than the main characters. You feel
I don't know about better, but they're equally as important. Everything they do is
true.
It's because they could die any minute.
What about all right, so Jorah? You like Jorah?
Ser Jorah.
Ser Jorah?
Wait, Ser Jorah Mormont. Oh yeah. You know what's weird? I don't like Ser Jorah.
You don't?
Ser Davos. I don't hate him.
What's? Oh, he's so good.
Something about him's like bitchness, and that he's too loyal to Khaleesi. Here, I know why. Here, I figured out why we're gonna have any difference on any characters. Something's weird about Daenerys to me. I don't like her. I think she's
too naive, almost. She's not actually capable of leadering.
I don't think she leadering. No. I'm the only one who's come up with this theory, but I don't like her moral compass. I feel like I don't like a lot of her decisions.
She's too just? She's trying to be too good?
It's not even too just. I actually find some of her decisions during the slave stuff to be weird. Like, I'm like, whoa. She's too harsh, actually, I think. A lot of times. Like, no
gray area?
She comes up. Yeah, she doesn't allow for gray area.
Or she beheads that guy because they killed him in the cell.
Yeah, and I'm like, whoa. I mean, I'm like, I don't disagree, but good Lord, like you came from nothing, and now you're cutting people's heads off because they disobeyed like one single thing.
Then she conquers a bunch of cities and just like was like, "You're free now," and then gotta go.
Yeah, there's something weird about her morality, and I can't put my finger on it. And I don't know if she's written kind of weird or the actress herself plays it weird, but something about her makes me uneasy.
They cast her pretty well though, because like
for
she's
looks and
super,
everything.
Yeah, like something about her is like really, really sexy. Magical. I don't think it's like
sexy.
it's not really her body. Like her body isn't that hot, even though she is hot. But it's like her face is like gorgeous. Like I don't know what. It's like the blonde hair and like the brown eyebrows.
Platinum white. Okay, yeah, that's wild.
It's like familiar yet very exotic.
Well, here, check this. What we were just talking about, we literally segued off of like 5 minutes ago. The whole scene with Khal Drogo is like barely living and like he's in here and all the what are they called? Oh my god. They're the people.
Dothraki.
People. Dothraki. All the other Dothraki are
Good
saying
names.
You better not talk to this witch. She's a witch.
She's a witch.
And she's like, no, I will talk to her. And I'm like,
we're gonna slay this horse and all the blood will flow everywhere.
And then she like pays for Khal Drogo's life with her child's life, and I can't tell if she does know what that means or she doesn't know what that means. But he does live, but he's like dead.
He's a zombie, like,
mindless. He's a zombie, and then she eventually cuts the witch's throat, doesn't she? Or she has someone cut her throat. But like, I don't know what the lesson learned here is. Like, there's something weird about like, you just gave up your kid for Khal Drogo, who was dying anyway, and you got him to live as a lifeless shell, and I don't know what happened.
It's not like there's a moral to the story. Thing. It's like you look back and you go, I guess I would have made the same decision, but it wouldn't have turned out any better.
I guess.
She can't have the baby and then have be like, this is the leader of all you ruthless people.
No, you're right. I mean, the story would not have unfolded good for her anyway. But there's something weird about her progression path. It's like, I don't know. She's the most different person in the whole story.
Well, she has the dragons, and then she goes through like in the second season, she's starving. Like they need water, and they can't find anybody, and they have a bunch of exiles. And then they go to a city, and somehow
Hoth? No, Jesus Christ, that's from Star Wars.
That's some of the Q.
Qarth.
Yeah.
She's the richest city in the world.
Which is a fallacy. It doesn't actually have any wealth.
Isn't that interesting?
And then she becomes a badass.
Undying, khaleesi.
She learns from being duped that you can't trust people and that you need to be powerful. And
that's where she learns that. But again, I don't think that's a good quality necessarily. In real people. I understand we're in a story world. I get it.
Yeah.
But she comes to power in a weird way. Like it's like she's an asshole, kind of.
I guess you have to be an asshole.
Yeah, but Jon Snow on the polar opposite side is not an asshole. He's literally trying to. Would you say he is?
Well,
I wouldn't.
He's killed people who have stood out against him, like the people who wouldn't. Well, obviously, because they stabbed him to death. But there was one guy that decided that he wasn't going to follow his leadership in the beginning, and he had to axe him. And then
which guy?
Oh, it was some guy that was directed to go save a village.
Guy?
I forget. It was a second in command, and he told him to go to this village and protect it. And he said, "I'm not going there. That's just a wee little village." And then he's like, "Are you disobeying my orders?" And then he kind of chuckled at him, and he's like, they all slowly walk out, get him on the little wooden block, and then
oh, I do recall, and I thought that was. What's weird though is I feel like he's more hesitant to do.
He doesn't want. You can tell he doesn't want to do it. Kit Harington,
he doesn't want to. Whereas I can feel like Khaleesi doesn't care. She's doing it, and I don't think she wants to, but I also think she's just like, okay, kill, okay. She wants the power. Does that make sense?
Well, she's heir to the throne. She literally says that every time.
Oh,
it's my blood right.
Saying, yes, of course she does.
It's my heir to the throne.
Whereas, actually, one of the funniest scenes is in season 6. I think it's season 6 or 7, maybe even.
What?
Where Jon Snow comes under her domain, and she says,
"You must bend the knee."
You must bend the knee. This is Queen Daenerys, a bringer of storms, mother of dragons, lady of so-and-so, Dothraki to the king. And she says 19 things in a row. And then the Onion Knight, I forget his real name, he's like, this is Jon Snow.
I'm Jon Snow.
He's just a one line. He's like, this is Jon Snow, King of the North. Well, that's
And
really
I
funny.
think was it Sir Davos? I think he gets into it. No, Sir Davos Seaworthy. He's like, "This is Jon Snow. Like, what are you talking about? Like, Jon Snow. He died for his people. He took a knife to the heart." And then she's like, "Knife to the heart?" He's like, "Nah."
Oh, yeah, never mind.
Nah, it's all right.
So,
It's all right.
dude, we're skipping ahead, but like this show is so good. You could do an episode on each season. But all right, let's go to
third season.
How does the second season end? I feel like it ends with Khaleesi doing something.
I think she gets Qarth. It ends with like her like doing
her with all the hands, or is that like season 3 or 4?
Meesa. It might end with her being Meesa.
That's the only part of the whole show that looks fake. It looks like stupid CGI with all the hands moving at once. I swear to God, it's the only thing I don't like about the CGI.
Well, she burns the magician alive, and then what else you got going on? You have Arya still out in the middle of nowhere. Sansa is stuck. Joffrey's being a prick.
Let's talk about Joffrey for like an hour. Oh my God.
Because he caused Ned's death, Eddard Stark. Because he was like, nah, let's kill a guy because he's a traitor. And everyone's like, no, Joffrey, no. And he's like, nah.
No. And he's like, hey, executioner.
Come on, I'm waiting.
Wait, here's a question for you. When you saw the first season, I actually put Littlefinger and Varys. Is that his name?
Yep, Varys.
I get names run together.
Yep.
As like the same type of person. Like they were aides to the thing. And I was like, I can't trust either of these guys. They're both bad news. But they changed over 5 seasons.
Well, they're both dirty because Littlefinger has a brothel.
Oh, Littlefinger is way worse though. I forget the dirty though. I mean, everyone's dirty, but the fact that he tries to, never mind. We're getting ahead. We're getting to like the last part.
Oh, you're going to go to the end? We'll get to there. We'll get there.
Okay,
we will get there.
I'll wait.
So I don't know how the second season ends. I'm trying to figure out who's like the main, because I guess that's the thing. Is like you don't know who the main driving force is.
That's what's interesting about the whole thing. But that's very Lord of the Ringsian. Like sometimes it's Thor, it's Legolas and Gimli, or sometimes it's Frodo and Sam, and sometimes like there isn't one main character. There's all these characters, and they're going through changes. Some of them go through times where you're like, this character's an a-hole. I hate them now. But then they change, or they go through a transformation or a realization. I think that's good writing.
Yeah, it's almost in like the medieval sense. Like you have this like kind of separation of the illusion, and then you're stuck in this like kind of confusion that everyone has, and no one really does anything.
I don't disagree.
I'm trying to think of what the highlight of the second season was.
Right,
there's got to be
run together when you talk about 7 seasons at once.
Well, they do the thing where it's like the exposition fills like 80% of it, and then you all of a sudden have like an
way
event.
It's done, like it's
drawn out because they didn't have the CGI in the beginning. Like CGI was still really expensive to do.
Right, but I don't think that's why it was, because they still did a lot of live action fights. Now, their budget could have precluded fighting and CGI and everything altogether. But
I think the second season was the it's not called Wildfire. It was something like Renly dies, and you get what's the blonde giant woman's name?
Oh, dude, Brienne of Tarth.
Yeah, Brienne of Tarth.
She is badass. She's one of my favorite characters.
She is one of my favorite characters. She's so loyal, and she's just trying to do the best. And she's just like, if I'm going to fight you, it's going to happen, and you're going to go down. Like, that's her.
Well, speaking of which, like, Jaime Lannister has, like, the coolest character arc. I love his arc.
Well, he gets caught somewhere in the middle of that, right? I think of maybe second season or third season. Where
is that where he
Robb? Yeah, that's where Robb is like starting to rampage, and then Catelyn tries to save him, and then someone finds him, and then he gets his hand chopped off.
Oh, that sucks.
Feel kind of guilty for him, I guess, but I don't know that he becomes the character.
He does without it. You're absolutely correct. He needs to lose.
He needs to be,
which is
less
almost
than
everything
human.
to him.
Almost.
He's a swordsman. In fact, he's the hand of the king.
Without a hand.
Think about that. Without a hand. How crazy is that? He gets one made of gold. Actually, hold on. All right, so do you like Braun?
Braun. I like
So Braun.
that's supporting character. He's amazing.
Oh, he's incredible. There's I think it's season 2 where it's a scene where him and Jaime are talking. It's right before this might be season 1, like episode 8, or season 2 later in the season, where King's Landing is going to be taken, and they're all in there drinking, and all of a sudden both parties see each other, and they're like kind of at odds. And Braun grabs his knife and he's like, "What's the matter? We can't have a nice tits and an ass." There's a naked prostitute on his knee, and he's like, "Is it going to be a problem?" You know, that's good. That's good tension, dude.
There's something about the scenes that like there's also like a dominance that he exudes. That like,
oh, dude,
there's like nipples that come out, and it's just like everyone's like, nipples, we're all good.
Oh, he's good. We got flesh and flesh, baby. We're flesh and flesh. His character is extremely. You know what you're getting.
He's free and open, and he doesn't want to deal with the bullshit. And if there's bullshit, he's just like, you do want to go? And then it's like, no, Braun, you're part of this.
What's the price?
They get sucked into so much.
I think it's season 3 or 4, but Pod, where the prostitute sleeps with him and then doesn't charge.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you didn't catch this? And everyone's trying to figure out what's going on with Pod. And they're like, because Podrick. He's like chubby, he's like white, he's like not muscular or anything. Apparently he's got a
Podrick, the guy, he's just kind of like sidekicking to Brienne.
Oh, yeah. Huh, dude, we didn't even talk about what's his name in season 1. Like, we could talk about this show for hours.
Keep it going.
I think I read this morning or this afternoon, there's 257 listed characters for the show.
Holy shit.
Keep this in mind. When you write a book, you can introduce 1 billion characters. It doesn't matter. When you do it in a show, it's a whole different game because you have to pay a guy. He has an outfit. He has a name. He has a casting call. He has an actor. He has a booth. He has all this stuff. So to introduce a character is more important in a visual medium than it is in a book.
So do you think
273 or something?
Do you think a writer can keep those people straight? And B, if they can, does that make them insane? Because honestly, like logically, you can only keep about 150 people straight in your head before you start to confuse them. That's like a physical limit. Like you can't organize that many people into a logical system.
What I think happens, though, is that
fantasy world?
A little bit. What he does is create all these lands, and the people of the Eyrie hate the
Eerie
sea people. Whatever, dude.
Shut up.
Sea people. And then you have people over here in King's Landing that are really jackasses, and they're like just a-holes, and they keep to themselves, and they're always got money. And then you have another people over here to the north, and they've given up sex, they've given up everything, and they protect the people, but it's kind of corny and old and religious, and everyone's kind of laughing at them right now, but maybe not. But anyway, like he has these people separated, so in the people, he might only have 5 to 10 important Northerners. He might only have 4 King's Landing people, and then the way they interact is historical, based on their people and their population, their race, as it were.
Kings of England,
right? Exactly. Oh, a little bit. And on top of that, he, there are families, and then there are lovers, and then there are ex-lovers.
Did we cover all the houses?
Sisters, and we didn't even talk about a brother and sister who were in love and had children. How crazy is this show? What was that sound?
That was the pounding of flesh.
So from season 1, episode 1, we figure out that the to-be queen of the King's Landing is having sex with her brother.
And then all the offspring that they had were between them.
Are blonde-haired, even though she's married to the king.
Who's
brown-haired and fat and a drunkard. And has a really good joke. So he's trying on his armor. And he's fat, and he drinks a lot, and he eats, and he's a terrible person. And he says, "Boy, it doesn't fit. Get me my breastplate stretcher." And the kid just nervous. The page runs out, and he turns, and then he says, "How long before he figures there's no such thing as a breastplate stretcher?" That's a good line. But that's funny. But we didn't even talk about all this stuff because it's like
we'll go back.
This is
and forward and back and forward.
Densest piece of work ever. We will be untangling this for generations, I think.
I like that we haven't even mentioned Tyrion yet.
I know, we have everyone's favorite character. We haven't even talked about the guy.
So
do you think?
I think he was actually the start of the second season, if you think about it, because there were the Stannis Baratheon was coming in to claim his crown, and he's coming by sea, and he had like the wildfire, I think it's called, and he launches that thing, and then it just destroys a bunch of ships, and then it was like,
and he bought all the old bullshit wildfire and then used it to trap him. Yeah, he saves the day, and he gets his
almost killed because Joffrey was trying to assassinate him.
Exactly, his own friggin'
nephew. He
assassinated his own uncle.
Yeah, depending on which perspective you're talking about.
Which do you think of? Anyway, can you imagine? I was like, yeah, no, it's an uncle. Oh my god, the bloodlines in this. Just this is the densest piece of literature. It's so Shakespearean, the whole thing. Do you get
it's all incestuous, and they kill each other off based on whims, essentially. Some of them.
It's whims, it's relationships, it's power, it's greed, it's justice, it's the right thing to do. The iron, it's all for the iron.
It's also ironic that the Iron Throne is held by the people who just pay gold. Like the Lannisters always pay their debts. Yeah. That's the gold price. They have the Iron Throne by the gold price.
It's crazy. These people aren't even real, and they have a slogan, and you could probably ask half the people in America, and they'd know what it was.
Yeah.
It's not even a real person. What does a Lannister always do? Pay their debts.
It's like, who was the last president of the United States to be like, who? When was that?
It's wild stuff. I think it's well done, and it's
season
super
3
produced at this point.
What happens in season 3?
You got a quick synopsis for me?
Well, there was a wedding at the Freys.
Ah, yes, you're absolutely correct. Do you know what Walder Frey, who's a bastard, by the way?
He hates women. He's a
We still even said Jon Snow is a bastard of Ned Snarks. That was like introduced in the first
Snarkies.
I did say snark in the first 10 minutes of the thing, and it's extremely important. But anyway,
so on the plot here. This isn't about plot.
You're right.
It's about what we like.
Absolutely correct. Or interesting, or
we enjoy when pregnant women get stabbed in the gut. That's
oh god damn it, dude!
I skipped right to it. He's picking something up. He had a prop.
No, I'm trying to open a beer.
Oh, but honestly, I don't think any pregnant woman's ever been stabbed on fantasy TV before.
You might be 100,000% right. I'm not even joking or placating you. Like that's when I saw that happen.
You're like, oh, silence. So many people just like, oh.
So the three of us would watch it. We'd watch this thing and be like, oh, what's gonna happen tonight? Oh, I can't wait. Let's go. And you watch it. The last 5 minutes would go by. And Rob gets killed, and I can't even believe it.
Rob,
Catlin, and then Catelyn Stark gets killed, and then she's screaming, and they just cut her throat, and blood is squirting everywhere, and then they're stabbing the belly.
You didn't even do it in the right order. They play the song, "The Reigns of Castamere." Catelyn pulls back the armor on the Bolton, and she goes, "Robe, robe," and then. Boom.
Does she yell, Rob?
She does. Like right as the girl's getting stabbed in the stomach, and Rob stands up and gets an arrow, and then he's like slowly moving towards the Freys, and Catelyn is like, "Let this go, let this be, let this pass," and then she realized that it's never going to happen. You're not going to get that open, and then I think Rob gets shot by another few arrows, and then gets taken down.
6 of them in the front. Yeah, I think.
And then you're like, this is not a normal series. You are not going to see something like you don't know what to expect.
I literally, as it's happening, I thought Rob was going to crawl away and we were going to see him rise from the ashes. But like this show,
then Catlin, she grabs the wench, which is actually the queen, and he's like, I can get another one.
I'll kill it. Yeah. How bad is that guy? That's like the worst person you can imagine. I couldn't write a worst individual. Now, that was incredible. Literally, I watched the Red Wedding like probably 6 or 7 times, and to this day, I can't get over how well done it's just so well done. It's like,
Yeah.
holy shit.
And you have a lot more going on too. Is that you have Arya like outside the gates, like about to be like, "Hey, I'm home."
About to finally reunite with her family after like 2 seasons.
And at a wedding that had a Tully there. So like Edmure Tully was the one getting married to a Frey. So you think that he's families?
He's dead, right?
He is alive.
He's not. That's right.
He survives until the end.
He becomes important until later. Well, not important.
I don't know if he's still powerful, but he's there.
No, of course not.
All right, so season 3 set the pace. Did you finally get it or no?
No, it started bubbling and it made a hiss sound.
It's going to spray everywhere. So why don't you step back and open it on camera because it's going to go everywhere.
Yeah, but what do I open it on? I mean, I'm trying to open it. I'm not trying to not open it.
There you go.
Oh, that would really help right now. How crazy would it be if I just had it
next episode.
Best. I'm going to try and open it on the cabinet one more time. Yeah!
Oh, it stayed pretty well contained.
You should see all the scratch marks on this furniture.
IKEA?
Yeah, it's like a beat up thing. It's already broken in 9 spots, so I figured I could just continue on, compound it.
Yeah, let's continue on. Season 4.
Let's continue on. So wait, how does season 3 end? Let's think. I bet you it's with Khaleesi. I'm telling you, dude. Her dragon's doing something.
It was the Red Wedding. That was like...
I'll tell you. Hold on.
You will not tell me. I'll tell you.
I'm quicker Googler. Last scene. Damn, he's going to be quicker because he's got that quick keyboard right there.
Yeah. Meesa. That's when Meesa comes in.
Oh, okay. So I wonder what type in last scene, season 2. Yeah, she frees the...
she launches all the... I think that's when she launches all of the chains into the city.
Is that also the badass scene where she's working with the guy and he's speaking another language?
That might be.
Dude, like 3 times for like 2 straight episodes. And she's like, tell this worthless whore I might let her lick me later.
Yeah.
And then she just doesn't say anything. She's like, what is he saying? And then, what's her name? The frizzy-haired girl?
Missandei.
Oof. Yeah. Anyway, she's like, he says, my lady, that you should buy the Unsullied. And she's like, we may. And he's like, tell this bitch I'm not done with her in another language, thinking she doesn't understand. And then, like, the last episode, she speaks to him in that language, and he's like, huh?
You didn't even set it up right. Oh, my God.
Oh, come on, dude.
So she's buying the Unsullied, and she goes into this little castle area, little courtyard, and he's still being an asshole to her. And then, like, she has this, like, kind of like chain thing to her dragon, which is like the same thing that he thinks the Unsullied is. Like, if you hold this, you are in control. She gives him that, and he's like, "Oh, I'm so excited! I got a dragon!" And he's like, "How do you control this thing?" And then she walks away and speaks the mother tongue to those guys, and is like, "These are mine now, Unsullied. Kill all your bastards." And the guy's like, "What?" And then she's like, "You can't control a dragon." And then she has the dragon, Dracarys.
Burns the F out of that guy.
And then that's the first like mini war that she's in because she has an army now.
Yeah, she does, the Unsullied.
I like Sir Barristan
Wormtongue
and Jorah are both there. They're like protecting Missandei, and like they're both like, "Wait, what?" And they're both like hunched over, like.
Well, how about that's the only major actor change in the entire show?
Major actor change.
Oh, the blonde. Do you remember it's either the beginning of the next season where he sneaks into her camp and he wants to cut her throat?
Dario Naharis?
Yes. He's a blonde. Like a super good-looking blonde.
Well, that guy, he seemed like he was an idiot. When I first met him, I was like, this guy's a meathead. Yeah. And they introduced somebody else that was, brunette, but he's a better actor, I think.
I agree. I don't disagree. But it's just funny. That's the only hiccup in their production. And
I like how they do it, and they never bring it like they never mention like, oh, your brother died, so you're new.
I noticed you're brown haired now. That's good. Yeah.
Somebody will CGI that guy out of the whole series entirely. Be like, it was him
probably
from the
at some point. Yeah, I wonder what his story is. Do you think he was a drunk? He asked for too much money. He was like a jackass.
Let's find out.
Do you think? I'm just curious now because like he blew an opportunity to be in the best show of all time.
Yeah. I'm kind of... You got to fill the time, Nick.
I will fill the time. I'm having a beer tonight. Do. I'm looking at your eyes. I'm actually just trying to figure out if it's interesting or not interesting or not enough information. Could be that. Oh my goodness, this guy. I actually see. I'm trying not to change subjects because I want to talk about what's it called when someone lives in your house and you have to take care of them?
When they're an invalid?
Or,
yeah, hospitality.
No. Even your enemy lives in your house. This is a big thing in the Odyssey.
Oh yeah, when you allow them into your home under like a truce or it's a
so it's an ancient Greek thing. But if you allow someone into your home, you have to treat them with respect, like not attack them, offer them food or water or bed or somewhere to stay, your hospitalities, your amenities.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you don't, that's bad luck.
Yeah, it's bad juju.
Well, it's a running theme throughout the show, I feel like. Anytime someone's invited to a house and is either locked up in chains or killed or red weddinged, like really bad stuff happens to those people. Like to the point where I'm telling you, it's a recurring theme. Someone do an essay on it and thank me later. An interesting one is Khaleesi in season 6 or 7, where Jon Snow has come to her house and she says, lock him up in chains until he bends the knee. And I'm like, don't do that.
Not a good
Bad things
decision.
happen to people who,
Yeah.
And then she rethinks her decision and lets him go free. But that's again, it's a point of emphasis.
One piece of honor that I think R.R. Martin really cares about is like allowing someone in your home is the epitome of being cordial and nice and hospitable. And if you're not hospitable, you should die.
You're gonna be dead. So in other words, his in-laws treated him bad one time.
Yeah, you remember.
This whole story came out.
So,
did you know?
Wait.
Stuff that
the Dahario Naharis guy, his name was Screen.
Yeah.
He said Scarain. I don't know, but he said that he was really into contract negotiations that didn't end well.
He wanted more money.
But he was also supposed to be the face of the Transporter series, which the other British guy took.
Jason Statham?
I think Statham took that. I don't think he got that at all. Yeah. And then he also said he had like a family.
Out both ways.
Yeah, he started a family too, so he was like loyal to his family. So it's there's like 3 bullshit reasons when he should have just manned up and just, because Game of Thrones is going to be remembered as like one of the best.
Yeah, he played his cards wrong. Is what happened.
Fucked it up. Yeah.
Whatever. Your little Game of Thrones.
There's a picture of him as like a transporter, and he looks terrible. He looks like he's starved himself to death or something. Statham did it better. But okay, sorry, Skane, whatever your name is.
He's gonna come find us now. He has nothing better to do. He's gonna kick our ass.
He's got a little bit of money.
I'm so sorry.
Don't run out. So we talked about season 3, season 4. We had something important in the middle of that one. Do you remember what happened at all with Joffrey Baratheon?
Well, by the way, I don't think I've hated someone more than I could hate a teenager.
He was the biggest douche of everybody.
I've never hated
he was what?
I always see bad guys and laugh.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just not just that. He was narcissistic, masochistic. I call it blade eater. And maybe you have your brother's blood on it.
I'm so strong and I can't fight this war. You fight it for me. This is below me. Like
he's just he was the worst of
anybody you could ever make. Yeah.
Yeah. Jaime and what's her name?
It's hard to believe that he was realistically bad because it's so typecast to be awful in such in his ways.
No, but he was so bad.
It was so realistically bad though. He
was like a bratty king and and just someone who loves pain and inflicting pain on others.
Yep.
How about at the wedding
He was shaming his Tyrion.
Uncle Tyrion, and that was a big turning point.
As he poured wine over his head.
Uncle.
Everyone, that was so awkward too.
I'll cut off your cock and something, and I think he slammed his knife on the table, didn't he? Yeah, Tyrion did. No, Tyrion.
Really?
Oh yeah, he threatened the king. You don't recall this because everyone in the entire place stops, and he laughs and says, "Sorry, your uncle is drunk. Why would I threaten the king?" But it was a real threat.
Was it? It wasn't about his cock, though, was it?
I thought it was. I thought he would cut off his cock. I thought. Maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, listen, I haven't seen this episode in 2 years, probably. But he's extremely mad, extremely drunk at his own wedding to Sansa, which is weird, right?
What?
His wedding to Sansa.
Yeah, Tyrion's wedding to Sansa? What about it?
Yeah. Was that season 5? Am I jumping ahead? Is that why?
I think that he's married. He was married before the purple wedding to Sansa, because Sansa's sitting next to him. It's like Sansa's on the outside, Tyrion, and then I don't know if Tommen's there, but you have no one mentions Tommen.
Tommen's the Rickon of the Lannisters.
But you have
Tommen.
You have the Queen, and then Jaime. I think Jaime's like standing in the background, and then you have the Tyrells. Marjorie. We gotta wait. What's Marjorie's actually? What's the actress that plays Marjorie?
I don't know her name. She's gorgeous. She has those big like anime eyes. Right? You know what I'm saying?
I know exactly what you're talking about. Oh my god,
my Lord Joffrey.
Even when she's first introduced, where she's trying to convince Renly to fuck her and make a baby, she's like, "You can do me from behind like you do your knights," and like,
oh my god, that's such a good line.
We can bring my brother in here to get you started, and it's like, way to introduce that this guy is gay.
Yeah. That's a good breakdown.
Natalie Dormer. She's got the little she does like the lip thing.
Pouty face.
Yeah, with the eyes a little bit like.
Pouty face.
But it's still a positive pout. It's a.
It's very positive. Very positive.
Derek Zoolander. Female.
Derek
Zoolander.
I was looking something up.
What was it?
Made me forget. It's about her. Oh, that episode where she dies, but we're not there yet. But
hold on. Yeah. So the purple wedding.
What's the purple wedding, dude? I don't even know.
That's where Joffrey dies because someone poisons.
Oh, is that what they call it? Purple wedding? I've never heard that phrase, and I'm a fan of the show.
Really? Oh, that's weird. Yeah.
Because he suffocates. I get it. But anyway, go ahead.
You know, just the way he does it, he mocks somebody for it. Tyrion isn't somebody for bringing him his wine. He commands him to bring him his wine, and it's like Tyrion gets the mark of death on him because he drinks the wine and then dies. And the way he dies is so terrible and awful. He's like, and then it's like foam and like he's like his eyes start to bulge and it almost looks like, oh my god, it's like Total Recall when you can't breathe. And then like the eyes start to puff out.
That's pretty hardcore.
And then
it is. Okay, I got the right name for it.
Okay, good. You got the right name?
Sorry.
Natalie Dormer?
No. Something. No. The next thing I want to talk about.
Okay, bring it up.
So we've been talking about how the episodes go, how everything's well done, blah 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 blah. The one of the best done episodes of TV I may ever see in my life is season 6, the very last episode. It's called The Winds of Winter.
Really?
What are you doing?
Why?
What
are you talking about?
I was like, there he is. Okay. I don't care. Do your thing. I want to see if it gives me actual information.
The Winds of Winter. We didn't talk about.
Yeah, The Winds of Winter is the one.
Sorry.
I was like, I didn't know what you were doing. Now I get it.
We didn't talk about.
This is the one. Well, no, this is the one where they have the kid. There's a meeting for her punishment. Cersei Lannister.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Like, what do you have in your hands? Like, I feel like there's something suspicious going on.
No. Why would there be?
Anyway, the whole episode is a musical trope, and I don't know if anyone has taken musical lessons.
Yeah.
But it's piano piece.
Yeah.
And
That's it. What?
the episode is like 7 minutes of just music and visuals.
Where's this? What is this?
See? Now you're paying attention. It's the one where Tommen jumps out the window.
Oh, Tommen. Wait, you skipped ahead. You skipped one key element that I want to...
Okay. Well, because the 7 minutes is super important. It's the best written, directed, photographed, video, cinematography, soundtrack piece I've ever seen. It's the mountain is talking, and they have like all these kids that work for them. Like, you know what I mean? They give the kids candy.
The little whispers.
Yeah. Anyway, they trick what's his name to follow them into the caves, and he follows them into the caves, and they have all this wildfire laid out.
I said Lancelot, but that's not his name. Lancel.
No, I forget his goddamn name. Lancel. Yeah. But all these characters who they introduced, who became the Sparrow, lady, we just mentioned her, and her
Marjorie.
parents. Yeah,
Olenna?
Marjorie.
Olenna's not there.
Olenna. Thank you. And her parents, like all the High Priest, all these, everyone who's been introduced for the past season and a half. They're very important. They're very damning of the Lannisters. They're a thorn in the side. They're all in one building to condemn her. She doesn't show up in the first 7 minutes of this episode. I request everyone to watch it again. They don't talk. It's all visuals. And then the music.
So
the music follows tropes. It's like a piano piece that ends differently for different people. So like it ends on different notes for the Lannisters. It ends on different notes for Marjorie and her family. I swear to God. And it's just a visual storytelling, like kind of like the beginning of a Pixar movie or something. And they go and they light this fire that eventually blows up and kills all of them.
Yeah. The wildfire can begin.
And then like 7 minutes after the episode begins, in one of the craziest reveals and finishers for an episode, even though it's the first 10 minutes of the episode, you're like, oh. And then they're like, anyway. And they start talking and you're like, what did I just see? So I think these are the wrong words to describe it, but yes, it's incredible.
So the whole thing about that episode, or the whole season, like that was, I think it was the 5th season or 6th season? No, maybe 5th. That it was like the whole thing was that like you have some ridiculous dictator that is like power hungry, and then you have Tommen who is not power hungry at all. He's not anything.
Yeah, he's like the weakest.
He's soft Tommen. Bread. He's like, fight me now.
He's white bread.
Not gonna happen. He never would say that. He's just like slowly like you just brush him off like a leaf.
What's up? Get away from me.
So it's like the High Septon is trying to take power from them. But you mentioned the mountain, and you skipped over one of the key. That's why I wanted to bring you back.
Every fucking chicken in here?
Every fucking chicken. You're talking about the hound.
Oh, I'm sorry. You said the mountain.
They're brothers. Clegane. Right. So you missed the Viper. Oberyn? Remember?
Oh,
you raped my sister?
Jesus Christ. You raped my mother. No, you raped my sister. You killed her. You will pay that. What is the sentence?
You must confess. Like, I think he says confess.
You must confess. Yeah.
So he fights on Tyrion's behalf because he knows that the mountain has killed and raped his sister.
They introduce him that season, and he's from Over.
Yeah. He's Dornish.
What are their people?
He's Dornish.
Dorn.
Yep.
So they introduced this character at the beginning of the season. I'm like, this guy's going to be pretty damn important. He can fight. He can move so fast. He's got an interesting accent. He's crazy, dude.
Yeah.
His wife might be his sister. I can't tell. Is there more incest there?
I don't know yet. They didn't reveal any of that.
I feel like it's his cousin or something weird's going on there. Anyway, he can move fast. He can use a pike. He's going to
Poison pike,
take
yeah.
on, oh my God, he can take on the mountain. Not many people can. And he beats him. I mean, he's fighting for Tyrion. He's going to win.
Everyone's like,
He knocks him down. And it's all about revenge, which is cool because, like, I love a good trope. This one's about revenge. He's finally going to avenge his sister who was raped and killed. He will confess now. And you're like, this is awesome. Everyone's cheering. He won. And as he won and knocked the guy down, he's got spikes in his leg. He totally demolished the mountain. Nobody demolishes the mountain, but he did. This is a special character. They introduce him this season because he's going to do something different. He's going to change everything. And then he's screaming over him, just yelling into his goddamn face, "You must confess!" And these hands from the mountain come up and grip his face and crush his skull with his bare hands. And they show it. It pops out his eyes.
It's like a pop on a pimple. His blood just, brains just splatter.
I remember everyone in our house when we watched that live made a sound. Even me. And I'm like, oh man, I was like, because they literally, it was like a main character. Like, I thought this was the new guy.
Yeah.
And no, he literally beat the mountain. All he had to do was like stab him 3 times while he's on the ground not moving. But instead, he leaned over him. Hubris.
Yeah.
I think my man George R.R. Martin's all about Greek stuff, dude. Hubris.
Yeah.
You know, family ties. You got some weird familial thing going on.
Mm-hmm. Happens with Theon Greyjoy, too. He gets a little exuberant. And then his sausage gets chopped off, and he becomes somebody else. Reek.
Reek. I don't like his line, dude. I'm not a fan.
He doesn't do anything that fantastic. He just kind of floats around, which everyone mocks. He should have died already.
It's weird how we're like devaluing him. He's gonna be like the hero somehow.
Somehow he's gonna. Maybe he'll be the hero that everyone wanted at the end.
I guess. Reek.
Yeah. So we skip ahead to the sept explosion, and then boom, Cersei takes the reins of everything by wiping out everybody.
Do you know that outfit she wears costs like hundreds of thousands of dollars?
What?
Yeah, that's like a very famous outfit she wears. It's like black. It's got like the studs in it, kind of. It's like a queen outfit she wears. You can look it up. This is like the most famous costume ever. I don't know what it's called. Cersei Lannister queen outfit. If you Google it, I don't know. Maybe that's a thing.
The black one?
Yeah.
Coronation gown?
Yeah. I saw a special on how it was made. It was made for this particular episode, I believe, actually, from a famous designer or something. Like, we're getting to the point in these episodes where scenes are made in towns for Game of Thrones. Outfits are made for the character and what they would wear in Game of Thrones. Like, we're going to have swords that are custom made that cost thousands of dollars for Game of Thrones.
It is pretty badass because the costumes are very unique, and you could probably tell which character you're playing just by wearing their costume.
Mm-hmm. A little bit. Like you were at the beginning. Yeah. Were you Jon Snow?
I was.
Oh my God, that's wild. Kit Harington, is that you?
Oh my goodness. I like somebody like him. So what does that move us towards? What happens
next?
Yeah, I think this is the Jon Snow, maybe? Is this where he meets Ygritte? And then Ygritte dies, and then Jon Snow gets laid beforehand, and then decides
his cousin or whatever, right? Did we even touch on that? What is cousin?
She's not what? Oh, we didn't. Well, you're skipping ahead. You went to the second time he got laid.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought that's what you were talking about. Him in general in the future.
We didn't talk about the next part. There's a key moment. You don't remember the key moment?
I don't know. If you tell me, I'll literally give you quotes about it.
It's where they bring him back. Because he dies by the hand of the traitors.
It's a Jesus trope, dude.
It's a Jesus trope? You tired of the Jesus tropes?
Not at all. I love them. You kidding me?
What?
You kidding me? Is it working?
Yeah, the Jesus tropes. I thought you said you were going to give me quotes.
No, I could. Except I don't actually know any quotes when they stab.
I don't think...
Except that
the
little boy Oliver.
Ollie.
Is it Oliver?
Yeah.
Oh, god damn, dude. When that kid stabbed him? Actually,
Dark.
This is another crazy thing. They literally killed off one of the main characters, and he's not dead anymore. Do you know where George R.R. Martin used to work?
Probably Best Buy.
He was a writer for a soap opera called Beauty and the Beast.
Huh.
He says he got a lot of his ideas from there. Because, like,
he was tired of doing that same bullshit over and over.
Yeah, but think about it. Like, you kill an actor in a soap opera, you can say, like, oh my god, the doctor revived him. He's back. Or like, he was in a coma for 19 years, and they found his twin brother. Like, you can do the most ridiculous. Oh,
yeah.
There it comes.
Good.
I knew you were trying to do something here.
It took me a while, because if you're going to revive somebody, you better have the Lord of Light on your side. Oh. So
we didn't get into religion in this show.
We did not. The Red Woman.
Do you know who the High Sparrow and the 7 sons, or the 7 points?
Yeah.
7 pointed sons or whatever.
Oh.
Who are you? Are you supposed to be John?
No, I'm the Red Woman.
Yeah, her bosoms are way.
I know, aren't they crazy?
I'm really sorry. They are. Oh. What'd you have on? What is that? I don't even know what. I can't figure out what they are. What? Did you tape a bra pad to your chest?
My wife has fake boobs for some reason. But they look fantastic, don't they? Oh,
holy crap.
I feel like I just hit puberty as a girl.
I've never been the one that was like, this guy's out of control. I've never even... Is this what this is like? We've done like 120 episodes where I did this? Oh my god. I apologize to the audience. I apologize to Dan. First and foremost, Dan, I want to apologize to you.
Oh, yeah. The Lord of Light.
You seem like Jon Snow still, even when you wear red.
Really?
Because you're morose and moody. And if you could think of another word,
I don't know what the
time to do it.
I don't know what the Red Woman does that's other than morose.
We didn't even talk about Stannis. How about where he sacrifices his daughter?
Oh, yeah.
That's probably season 4. 4 or 5.
Yeah, I think that's 4.
So get this. One of my greatest memes that I've ever created was the day after that episode where Stannis sacrifices his daughter. Did you have that on the whole time?
No, it's
you were working it on.
It's too much.
No, it's just enough, sweetheart.
Yes, you're gonna hear the
episode after Stannis did what he did to his daughter.
Yeah, he thought he was gonna be the king of Westeros by sacrificing.
Is that worth it? I still don't get that.
The crazy part is that his wife was there, and even though the Red Woman said it's necessary, like his wife was all along. She's like if the Lord of Light decides, and then as her child is burning, she's like, she realizes what she's done, and then she hangs herself later.
Yeah. Well, wait, that's the next day, which is hilarious because that's like the worst day in Stannis' life.
Because he
realizes everything of
value has died.
Accidentally burned my daughter to death while she was alive.
Oops.
Wife killed herself because I did it. Oops.
Yeah.
Turns out I wasn't invincible and I didn't win this war. Oops. Red Woman left. See ya.
Brienne of
And then
Tarth gets her
4,
revenge.
Brienne of Tarth finds you, and you're fucked. Like, that's a bad Wednesday. Like, my man has a case of the Wednesdays. Dan, do you still have these?
No, I took them off. I can't show my nipples on screen. That's too much. We'll have to refer our previous guests to this episode.
Which ones?
The ones that find that important. Let's keep on going here. I get these fake boobs out of the way. Hold on a second. Okay, so where we are. So Jon Snow is back. The dragons are en route. They make it back to Westeros.
En route. We didn't even
Wait
talk
a second.
about the tournament.
Battle.
We didn't talk about anything, dude. I'm telling you, we're not going to cover Game of Thrones in an hour.
What tournament?
The battle.
The Battle of the Bastards?
She's stuck in the stadium. No, in the stadium. And the dragon shows up. And it's like, oh, shit. Oh, my fucking God.
All the Sons of the Harpy.
Everyone. Oh, my God, dude. So good. We haven't talked about Grey Worm. We haven't even mentioned his name.
Oh, yeah. He's in the Sunday.
Yeah, he's good. Does he sleep with her? I don't even know.
Whatever you would call it. Yeah, I think so.
I think he gives her.
Yeah, and I think that's what happened. Because they talk about that.
Dude.
There's a walk and a look, and they're both like, hey, we're girls.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We know you're girls. That's what that means. Battle of the Bastards? You want to cover that one? Talked about the beginning with
such a good goddamn episode.
Rickon, which we care so much about. If you had just
how about
looked at where the arrow
die? The dogs, right?
Rickon's when he got shot through the heart.
Shot through the heart. How does he die? Bolton.
Oh. We didn't talk about the battle, though. The battle?
We could spend an hour on it. Apparently,
we will. The battle. So, arrows from one side because they don't care about their own people. Boltons. What's the Bolton's name? Douchebag? Asshole?
Justin.
Go Jostins! What's Justin Bolton's name? Come on, Nick, do your research.
Ramsay
Bolton. Yeah. Go Justin Bolton. So they're fighting. There's a bunch of wildlings, and then they get surrounded. And they get pushed into like a little, like a mound of dead people, and then shields. And one's like grabbing people, and then they're trying to like fight back, but they get all pushed. And then Jon, this is like, it's almost like he like broke down like the atypical trope. Like the hero's supposed to have like a glorious death. He's just gonna get crushed by people. A bunch of dumb idiots running around. He's like, trying to breathe underneath the mound of people. And then finally, they get saved.
By little
Sansa,
people, right?
The mastermind.
All right. Who's the mastermind here? Actually, let's skip the frig ahead, dude.
Yeah, because you got to pee. Let's go.
I didn't say that, did I?
With your mind, you did. Maybe your mouth.
No, what I wanted to talk about is we've been talking about breakdowns and the development, the episode, and storyline, et cetera, et cetera. Which characters are either A, the best in the entire show, or B, are going to live? Like, who's going to not? This is all right.
1-1. Has already died.
Who?
1-1, the giant.
Oh, dude, he's the man. Is he dead officially?
Oh, right through the eye.
Right. That sucks.
Open comment. Yeah, who's left?
How about
I have a giant chart that says most of the people have died already. Who's left? Robin of Aaron, Sansa, Arya, Brandon. We didn't talk about Arya too much. Theon,
we didn't talk about anybody, dude.
Jon Snow, Daenerys. Those are like the rightful ones, right? Yara's alive, technically.
Technically.
Who else is alive? Really? The side characters?
Here's my question. Yeah, a lot of side characters.
Most of the side characters are alive, actually.
They are. Well, also
except for Sir Barristan, who got killed in Aaron. Barristan.
I love his name and his voice, his gravelly voice. I could cut through you like a cake. Such a good line. What about like
what's gonna happen? Who's gonna survive?
What would happen if Tyrion died?
Oh, Tyrion's alive. Tyrion, Cersei, and Jaime, who have no heirs.
Died in this season. What would you do?
I guess it doesn't matter because there's no next season.
This is the end.
Cersei has to die. You know that for sure. If Cersei wins, how outraged will people be?
I don't know. I can't even imagine. All right, so there's two ways to look at it. What's the most people will be happy if it ends, or people will remember it if it ends? Because there are two different ways to look at it.
The fantasy ending is that even though Jon Snow and Daenerys are related, I think they're what?
Get married.
Nephew.
They rule together. Nephew and
aunt.
And I think so.
I think that might be all right.
Shit. That was good. That was goddamn good. I hope we recorded that. That's so good.
It felt wrong to say.
It's so right.
I think I have an inverted penis now. Oh, man.
So hold on. So that would be like the most storytelling, like normal
fantasy ending, but they're related. They have a weird baby, and it's like, wait a second.
But they are the heroes.
End with making love on that ship. After Daenerys is like, whoa, he really was stabbed in the heart, and he has abs. That's so hot.
Yeah, it does. Is it weird that Tyrion was there to listen?
Was he listening? Does it show him?
He's outside the door. Yeah, he's outside the door. And he's about to knock, and he stops. And he's like, oh. Because he can hear them love making. It's just weird. It's like, I know what it's like for relatives to bang. I'm not going to interrupt this one. And then what about Sam?
Samwell? Tarly? The Tarleys?
Yeah.
Because he had a dad who just got burned along with his son. Well, the dad's son, Tarly's brother.
Right.
It would be...
But he's interesting. How funny would it be if he becomes one of the final survivors?
That would be...
He's been shit on and laughed at by everyone.
That would be a trope of the turn of the century, really, because nerds are starting to overtake.
Nerds. So we're giving him a nerd status, and then he should survive.
He's a bookworm.
Right. Yeah. What about... I'm trying to think of the weirdest ending. What about, Brienne of Tarth? She's not going to die, is she?
I don't know.
She has to live.
She should be given a righteous death if she does die. Very righteous. I feel like it's got to be
she kills
glorified.
Cersei.
I don't think she doesn't have any hate for Cersei, though. Who has the most hate?
All right, who's going to kill Cersei if someone kills her?
So, Arya's been, floating around, but she's killing people secretly. That's not going to be a secret death.
Arya can't be the final piece.
No. She's going to be the one that disappears. Sansa doesn't... She's not strong enough to do it. And Brandon, who's the three-eyed raven now, is just kind of, faded in the background. It has to be Jon or Daenerys that kills Cersei. Right? I think it has to be Jon. But I think he might sacrifice.
What if it's Jaime? Jaime's going to kill Cersei.
That's a good turn.
Because that's literally their lovers, brother, sister, parents together. They've lost all their... Have they lost all their kids?
Yeah, they have Joffrey, Myrcella, and Tommen. Yep.
Holy shit, dude. He's going to kill her. And that's going to be the most romantic, weirdly anticlimactic, but it's like matter and antimatter. They're going to literally end each other.
But one of Jaime or Tyrion has to die because both of them are too similar.
Yeah, I agree. So Jaime's going to kill his sister,
maybe
Cersei,
because he's forced to. At
the end. I mean,
because she was ready to kill herself when her and Tommen were hiding out in the.
Dude, when Tommen walked out the window.
Yeah,
that's still one of the craziest / funniest things I've ever seen.
He's so sensitive, such a gentle soul, not meant for Game of Thrones.
Easy thing, yeah. He's not a Game of Thrones guy.
I think the Night King's gonna win.
No.
When will he
I actually
die?
don't.
Do you think the Night King will actually kill? I think the Night King's got to kill Jaime or Tyrion because they're too likable by the other sides.
I agree with you. One of them has to die by his hands. But
Do you think it's
what if,
undead Jaime that kills Cersei?
What if?
That'd be nice.
That's a weird twist. What if Bronn can take over the king and make him turn all his people dead or something stupid like that?
Talking about Brandon?
Yeah.
He could take over the dragon that the Night King is riding.
Right. Or even him. What if he could take over a White Walker?
That's too powerful.
The king White Walker. Well, so what, dude? You can. It's literature. Shit gets weird. I'm not saying he would or
funky
should.
here.
I'm just saying.
You're just gonna do your aunt and your uncle. Don't worry.
I don't know. We're surmising at this point.
Yeah.
And right now, I think it's time to everyone tune
Wrap
in their
it up.
HBOs. And yeah, I agree.
Make sure you wrap it up.
I will say it's the most well-produced show. Probably the most
Longest
well-written-ish
running,
show.
best. It's like a Braveheart less, like 80 hours at this point now.
I wish someone said that an hour ago.
Yeah. I wish.
Anyway, it's literally, it's probably the best piece of literature we'll ever see. We didn't even talk about Dragonglass and how in Lord of the Rings they have something special in Lord of the Rings, though. I forget what. Anyway, folks, we talked about. Come on, bring them in. Tell everyone. The War of the Roses.
Arryns,
we talked about
Tullys,
historical
Starks,
fiction.
the Baratheons,
Oh,
Lannisters,
classic
Tyrells,
science fiction and fantasy.
Martells. Oh,
We talked about real mating and
Aegon
courtship.
is John.
World religions. We talked about how certain religions actually are based on what's in the show.
Talking about the
That's
Viper.
crazy.
We talked about all of the dogs. The dire
War
wolves.
of Roses.
The dire wolves are going to come back as a pack
1455
and
to
change the tide of
1485.
war.
Oh, they could. That's interesting.
Ah.
J.R.R. Tolkien wrote. He actually has the answers to the books. He's crazy.
Who rides the other
Jaime
dragon?
Lannister, the guy. Who
Someone
rides
has
the
to
dragon's dragon?
It has to be
Someone
John.
has to have. Someone's going to do it. No one knows.
And the babies of those dragons are going to be incestuous too. Look at that.
We're talking about who's going to survive and who's going to have sex with the dragons. Who's going to have sex with the dragons?
Oh.
God, folks.
The red woman.
She's dead.
She's going to shoot
episode 1.
Steam out of her JJ and say, Black Death. Number 2. Game of Thrones. Coming up on HBO.
Game of Thrones. Coming on HBO.
April 7th.
Donate to our Patreon. We're right here. We get 1% of every episode. So I hope it does well this year. It's probably the most downloaded. I think it's the most downloaded thing.
Pirated thing.
Yeah, it is. Folks, we like you. We like you a lot. Winter's coming. So am I.
Winter is coming. Winter is coming. Say it again for a keyword. Because winter is coming.
Thanks, gang.